What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 146 of the Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's about Sonic news, movie news, and Sonic movie news, and Mario movie news. My name is Ethan. With me here again, as always, is Devin.
Hey, that's been in my head all day. Every time,
That's not a Sonic quote.
I know, but it's Chris Pratt. I just think of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Technically. Oh my god. Well,
what's the matter with your head? Yeah.
I'm surprised you actually know the lyrics. This show is called the Sonic Movie Show, and for the longest time, that's been the only actual video game movie that we should care about. A
heavy hitter. Yeah.
But Sonic's biggest rival actually is getting his own movie now. We finally have a trailer. The Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, don't forget
That's the full title.
Don't forget the Super.
The Super Mario Bros. Movie has a trailer now, or more like a teaser trailer. This is more like a teaser, I feel like. I feel like a trailer needs to tell you something related to its plot. And this was like, you can maybe assume something.
But
Mario
I
need
versus,
that. Mario, we need your help type of trailer.
An empire. It's one man against a war machine. But it's still 2.5 minutes. It's longer than I was expecting. I really was expecting that they were going to hype this shit up and it was going to be 35 seconds of just like Mario being like, oh boy.
Now, to be fair, it is less than 35 seconds of Mario in the trailer.
But there's a whole, in totality, it's like what?
In totality?
In totality, 2.5 minutes. But if you watched the direct, there was little
it was 45 minutes of waiting.
45 minutes of waiting, but then it was like 10 minutes in total of...
Yeah.
You had Jack Black and Chris Pratt there. You had, what was his name? Doug Bowser.
No.
He wasn't there? I saw a tweet by him. That's what I was thinking of. Some dude was there from... Oh, no, he's from Illumination.
Chris...
He's from Illumination.
Starts with an M and not Mario.
Chris Mario.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably... So, like Miyamoto, every now and then, when anyone asks him what Mario's last name is, he says Mario. Mostly joking, but also to say that he doesn't need a last name, it's just Mario. But also, the Mario brothers, were named after your first name. That doesn't make any sense. He should just have Nintendo employees sign a contract. Their last name is now Mario, as long as they work for the company, and therefore Illumination must be as well. But you had that Chris guy there, Chris Mario, and you had Shigeru Miyamoto himself in his blazer and his white crew neck t-shirt, talking, saying we're making this movie. It's weird to see, number one, this was presented in a Nintendo Direct form, which I think says a lot about how Nintendo's approach to this. And there's some assumptions we can make about the production itself. But also, it's just weird to see it being referred to in the same manners that they refer to games. Like, we're still in production, here's some technical specifications about where we're at. We'll show you more footage soon.
There's going to be 2 free DLCs that come out. Don't you worry.
Oh, Nintendo loves to do that. They launch a game, and then a month later, free content update. They always love dropping those free content updates.
Or spend $25 now, and in over the course of the next 3 years, you get a bunch of Mario Kart maps.
Oh my god! And they're ripped from the mobile game, and the quality is a lot less than the Mario Kart 8 tracks themselves.
I played them. I liked them.
Oh, I'm sure they're fun. I actually haven't gotten to it, but I've seen graphical videos of here's grassy trees and areas and the new tracks that are from the mobile game versus the ones from Mario Kart 8.
It's new to me.
They look a lot different.
So to me, it doesn't matter.
I haven't played it, so I don't really care. I haven't played Mario Kart 8 since honestly 2017
when it came out.
I played it a whole bunch with our friend David, and then I got my fill. I was also one of those kids. I owned a Wii U. I owned basically every game for the Wii U except Mario Kart.
Oh.
Over half of Wii U owners own that game. Yeah. Anyway, Mario has a trailer for the movie. We've been watching it. I actually watched the trailer at work with the sound really low with subtitles on, and then I came home and I watched it. Were you able to watch it live?
Yeah, I I think I got there when it ended because I was expecting it to be longer. Like it was like, because for me it started at 2:00 my time or 2:05 or whatever it was, and I like tuned it at 2:14. I'm like, oh, it's probably just at the end. I'll just like scrub back, but like the video was done. It said Nintendo streamed 4 minutes ago or whatever. I'm like, oh shit.
Uh-huh.
So like I just went back and tried to find it, and yeah, watched it. I guess close to live enough.
Live-ish.
Yeah. But I thought I knew it was Mario Brothers, but I wish they kind of just did this with the rest of their other stuff. Like I wish they had this as like the opener, and then they're like, oh, and here's a new Metroid thing or whatever.
Right,
you know
here's
what I mean?
games and stuff.
Yeah.
I can
here's
see
the next Zelda thing. Whatever.
Yeah. I can see them having done that. And remember, like, we got the casting in that fashion where it was just a part of, the thing. And we all laughed at it because, I mean, besides Jack Black and maybe Keegan-Michael Key, and I don't know Anya Taylor-Joy, to be fair. I haven't seen her in anything. But, like, everything else was a, are you fucking kidding me? Or a, this is so stupid in a not good way. Now, we've only heard 2 of these voices, so 3, actually. We heard Keegan-Michael Key's Toad. So we don't know when, and I guess we heard wailing from Charlie Day's Luigi, I think, there at the end.
Something.
Not really any, no speech. I don't think that really counts. Anyone can go, it's probably good enough.
He hasn't even recorded his lines yet. They had someone else fill in just for that.
Exactly. So I'm still holding off complete judgment for the full cast. There's a Seth Rogen Donkey Kong out there. That makes me really fucking nervous.
As part of the Donkey Kong fandom, I'm on Team Hype.
Oof.
I'm on Team Hype just because I feel like it's just gonna be crazy. Like you said, you're nervous, but I'm like I don't know what to expect, and that's what makes me excited. Is that Donkey Kong could sound like anything.
Let's not talk about Donkey Kong too much right now. Let's talk about the trailer itself. So for like 2/3 of it, it's the scene of Bowser in his city, his kingdom, I guess you would call that, doing the classic thing it does. I remember from the original Paper Mario on N64, it was like this, where it's just a chunk of ground with his castle on it that flies, and in order to land, he like drops these anchors and pulls himself down, which I think is a cool. It looks really
cool. Like I didn't know that context. I just thought like they just made it cool. I'm like, yeah, I like that he just kind of just ascends.
Yeah,
from the
how does it fly? Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah,
I mean, in the poster for this, they just show flying, like not flying, just floating chunks. So I'm sure it's possible. I wonder
if that's how the Peter Jackson movie that I didn't see works with the flying cities.
Were they flying? I thought they were like they were on like giant machines. I thought. What was that movie called?
I don't know. I saw it the other day. And I
was Infernal Engine, Mortal Engines.
Yeah,
Mortal Engines, Mortal Engine. I
gotta check that one out because he doesn't usually miss. So,
sure, sure, he doesn't miss. We can say that. But yeah, it's this 2/3 of this is Bowser essentially attacking this snow penguin kingdom, which I think you can then, and then he gets a power star. Presumably from that, which I guess you could assume there's the plot instead of I'm kidnapping the princess, which still could potentially happen, and I hope it doesn't, because I think it's just very boring for them to do that in the movie.
Yeah,
it looks like it's I'm just taking all of the power stars, and here is my little here's my issue with this. They ripped off my movie idea. All right, so I didn't have a Mario movie idea in mind, but I had a Final Fantasy IV movie idea in mind as a trilogy. That movie opens up with your main character being the Darth Vader of this empire, having successfully conquered all these other kingdoms and taken their crystals. And that's what this movie looks like its plot is like. So I'm just sitting here being like, okay, that's much better than him stealing the Princess Peach or Toadstool. I do think that the humor could be hit or miss here. We could see like the penguins through snowballs at him.
That's illumination, though, in general.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
That like I don't like the Minions. Sorry.
Same.
Like I don't want to see it, but I know it's not my like it's not targeted to me. It's targeted to families with kids who are under the age of like 7.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Obviously, we have to keep in mind, like, yes, we run a video game podcast or a podcast about video game movies primarily. I feel like at this point, and Sonic obviously is the other half of that. And we're 27-year-old dudes. I would say we are probably in the key demographic of nerd dumbass shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And pretending to be adults type of stuff. And there's older people that obviously Mario's, I think it's either the series itself as a concept or just Super Mario Brothers, the game. One of those turns 40 soon, something like that, which is insane to me. So there's 40-something-year-olds out there, But yeah, this is an animated movie by the people that made 2 movies about pets, 2 movies about animal singing, and 5 about the Minions.
Yeah.
And were they the people that did the Batman Superman dogs? I don't know.
That's Secret Life Pets. I know what you're talking about.
The one from this summer with Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe that wasn't them.
That might be Pixar.
Just seems like that vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's not I don't want to say. I will say like Illumination always has looked good though, like visually. Like they know how to animate shit. They have like an aesthetic that is really just good.
Yeah, I feel like
so like everything in this like visually looks good to me. Like there's been nothing in this where I'm like, even like Mario's design, I'm like, yes, that looks like what Illumination should have made Mario look like. You know what I mean?
His butt looks concave, but yes, looks like
and then,
it is a void. But
the pictures we've seen of like Peach and stuff look good.
The leaked from McDonald's.
Good old McDonald's leaking shit for
funny.
us. That and toy companies in general. But for me, like visually, everything looks cool. I really like Bowser's look.
Yeah,
I think Bowser's the. I'm glad they show him the most in this because I feel like I think maybe they know marketing wise that maybe the Chris Pratt Mario thing some people don't like, so they're like, okay, let's focus on Jack Black and Bowser. I feel like that's what they went with this trailer to kind of like be like, hey, if you don't like Chris Pratt, fine, but don't worry. There's Jack Black playing Bowser, and he's amazing. And I almost say I really liked. I like if I didn't know it was Jack Black. I mean, I didn't know. I knew it was Jack Black, obviously, because he says it, but it didn't feel like Jack Black, and I mean that as a good thing. I mean, his voice acting, I think, is good. He makes Bowser look scary.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like Jack Black, traditionally Jack Black, which I think is cool. And also, I feel like is the downfall of. Granted, we've heard like maybe a line or two from this movie from Mario, but I feel like that's the takeaway. That's just a Chris Pratt voice. That's just Chris Pratt. Like maybe squinting his vocal cords a bit there, but like that's just Chris Pratt. Now, would I find an over the top Italian accent obnoxious for a 2-hour straight movie? Probably. But at the end there, when he said "Mushroom Kingdom, here we go," I'm like, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, as a member of the Pratt Pack, that's the fandom, as we call it, Pratt Pack. We're eating good. We got another Pratt movie in the works here, and Pratt never misses. We're on Team Pratt for life. No, I'm kidding. But for me, I mean, like, yeah, it does sound like Chris Pratt. At the same time, I don't think he has a bad voice. I don't really give a shit too much. I think the people getting mad about it, I'm like, I agree with it. The idea of just like if he was going, "It's me the whole time," doing that the entire time, it'd just be annoying as hell. So I feel like that's what they thought too, and that's why they got Chris Pratt. And Chris Pratt does have experience doing voice acting already in other animated stuff. So, and he's a bigger name, I think, than some of these other people at this point in time. So I feel like they're using him as a selling point. But like I said, going back to what I said earlier is, I feel like they showed a lot of Bowser because I think they're trying to like pull people like our age in with the Jack Black, because we grew up with more of Jack Black than maybe with Chris Pratt.
The Jack Black thing does feel like perfect casting in that sense. Like, I mean, granted, I could probably say that about a bunch. If if what's his name tweeted knock knock and it showed Bowser's hand there,
oh my god,
you know what I mean? I would be like, all right, that's perfect. Like, I feel like that's pretty easy to say. Oh, it's perfect casting because there's probably a lot of good choices. I'm not upset with the Mario voice. It just feels like exactly what we all thought it was going to be when they announced the casting last fall. I think it's almost been close to a year.
I think it's been, yeah.
Maybe it was like November or something at the time when they showed the casting, but that's what we all just assumed, and like it does feel a little anticlimactic that it is just that. It's like, okay, well,
yeah.
At least
I think that's why they didn't.
It looks good
because I think they, like I said, I feel like they're not confident in his ability. It's more of just like he's not showing anything that is gonna blow your socks off. They're like, wow. He doesn't even sound like Chris Pratt. He sounds like the original voice actor of Mario, but tasteful. Like, no. I feel like, though, like, with what you said, like, I just don't know if it would work in general. Even if you had, like, the original Mario voice actor come back, I just think it will work. So I think they just played it. I think this is a safe pick, to be honest. Like, now seeing what we saw, like, I think when we first did, I was like, yeah, they could have picked someone else. Probably should have picked someone else. But as part of the Pratt Pack, I think they picked... I think it's a safer pick because of just, like I said, they need someone on the movie poster that is familiar, and I think his voice is just fine. And who knows, you might probably after 20 minutes of once you're in the movie watching it, you're gonna forget all about it.
Yeah, that's what I hope, right? You want to be immersed in the kind of world and narrative that they're
Knuckles.
throwing at you.
That happened with Knuckles with me. Like I just stopped thinking about like, oh my god, that's Idris Elba. You know,
I don't think I ever stopped that, but I think in a good way, I was like, "Oh my god, it's Idris Elba!"
Yeah,
but every single time he
just
talked.
Like you're not like the whole time being like, "Oh my god, this is awful." Because I've definitely seen anime movies where like just not a good choice, and it's just noticeable the whole time. And you're like, Or in video games too, when there's like someone like Ronda Rousey in Mortal Kombat 11, just isn't the same tier as everyone else.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Definitely was just this would be a cool idea, and then they just didn't double check the pulse there when they did it. And then she had all those awful things that she said. Mario voices is fine. We'll just put that in a pin. It's like it's fine. Need citations. The Keegan-Michael Key voice, I'm actually a bit more surprised that it sounds like that.
I totally forgot it was him, to be honest, until you said it again.
I feel like he could very easily do the in-game Toad voice. You know what I mean? So this one is a little bit different. Now, I still, like, I think based off what this shows in this trailer and the poster, because the poster has, there's a bunch of Toads. He's walking through like a, straight main street there with shops and stuff lining, the sides of the street. There's Toads walking all over the place. But there is very clearly a classic looking Toad that's the red dots, or the red with the white dots on, in the mushroom cap head thing there. And he has like a backpack on with stuff. And he very clearly looks like he's leading the way to Mario, or he's pointing, or he's looking over to Mario. I'm like, okay, that's probably a character. You know what I mean? And my brain went to something about like treasure hunting or something, maybe because Toad's Treasure Tracker or something like that. And seeing like in this trailer, that's the same one. So I think that's very obviously
maybe he's tracking
the
star.
Toad.
Maybe he's tracking the same star and that's how they get involved with Bowser. Like maybe Bowser isn't a threat to Mario or like a city in particular. Is that there's one left in the world, and
it's probably the Mushroom Kingdom's one.
Yeah, and he's been looking for it for years or something. Yeah.
But my question is, are all the other Toads also going to be voiced by Keegan-Michael Key?
That would be kind of funny.
Or are they all just going to be a whole bunch of different people? Because that is the Toad that the story is concerned with.
Yeah. That'd be funny. And if he just does slight variations on each one, just to give them a little bit different personalities, but they're still like
We just described Minions.
We just described Minions.
Oh, no.
Shit.
No, I take it back. Keegan-Michael Key, you just save your energy for one dude.
Yeah.
You can have Jordan Peele do the other ones, and it can be a funny meta joke. But maybe we don't have all of them be the same voice, because I think literally the Minions are all the same voice person.
Is it? I believe that.
I think. I don't know. I saw that first Despicable Me and that second Despicable Me.
Saw more than I have.
Yeah. And that's when those... I don't want to talk about Minions, all right?
I think clearly... Luckily, we're not the Mario movie podcast or show, whatever, because...
We'd have to go through the pedigree of the studio.
Yeah, we'd have to go through all the movies to build up to it. So we lucked out there, Ethan. We lucked out.
I don't know if I could survive that. It does look like Mario does not belong, or has never been to this world before. He's not born here, because he literally says, like, "What is this place?" or something like that as he looks around.
What is this place?
Yeah, in amazement.
Is this some type of Suicide Squad?
Here, what are we? Some sort of. Here is my assumption of the general plot. Bowser is like, I think this opening here with the ice is probably one of the very first things shown in the movie. That sets up the premise. I hope
this is like
he's getting all the stars from all the different kingdoms. Princess Peach is worried, as she should be, and so she sends her good friend Toad to find the guy that can help save us. And he finds Mario, and I don't know where he's from.
It's a prophecy. There's an Italian man that we need to get, that he will come in our time of need.
Is that what the Super Mario Brothers from the 90s movie?
Wasn't it like that? That'd be funny if
Wasn't
they did
it something like that? I don't know.
I don't remember.
Someone did point out, and I don't think that this was the direction, but we'll see how much of this could potentially be in the movie, that Chris Pratt's voice isn't an Italian voice, it's a New York voice, because he's from New York. Like the old premise of the character before they changed it.
There's no way they will, because we know Nintendo's marketing policy on whether or not that movie even exists, or just acknowledging it in general. So I doubt it, but it would be funny if it's like, nope, same same That would be, but it's in a cartoon version of the story, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or no, it's the real person. He gets transported to it, like what's the one? Like when Timmy Turner went to Jimmy Neutron. And Jimmy Neutron went to,
I fucking hate. Here's my issue, because they made 3 of those TV movies: the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours, Fairly Odd Parents, and Jimmy Neutron collaborations. Most of the time was spent in the Fairly Odd Parents stuff because it was cheaper to animate than the 3D Jimmy Neutron stuff. I realized that as a kid, and I'm like, fuck this. Like, they're cheapening out.
I liked it.
I had a realization. And you might have forgotten that Mario movie had a stinger at the end, where Daisy comes back and, like, Back to the Future style. We need to go. I need your help again.
That's right.
And then they go back with her.
Let's tie it back.
What if that's what this
is? There's no way. But I would give them so much credit if, like, this whole time they've been trying to, like, to avoid, like, that idea, like us predicting it, that they were like, okay, 20 years from now, from now on, we're pretending this movie is going to exist, but we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back when the technology is good enough. When the technology is good enough, we're going to bring it back and do an animated movie. That would be awesome. I'd give them so much credit if they did that. They're like, yep, actually, we love the 90s movie, actually.
No, they hate that movie very much.
But like Mortal Kombat did it. Like they did like the song from the movies and brought it back to like that was cool, right?
They weren't embarrassed by that movie as it was happening, though, like Nintendo was. Nintendo made the mistake in their eyes. I don't necessarily agree with this, but they made the mistake of giving pretty much all creative freedom to the director, the writer, producing, that whole production company over there. And in their eyes, that might have been one of the seeds of, like, we are so controlling over our stuff. Like, here's the thing, and I guarantee this, and we don't know this for a fact, but I guarantee this. Illumination, there is a guy there that's like a producer of this movie. Cool. Illumination does whatever Nintendo says. If Miyamoto says, change this, they just do it. I guarantee Nintendo has so much control over this movie that Illumination is basically just hired hands to put it on the screen. and Nintendo is the ones that are saying what it is going to be. I highly doubt that Illumination said, "Oh yeah, here's our script idea," and Nintendo like said, "Okay." You know what I mean? Nintendo probably said, "Here's the outline of what we want." Miyamoto says, "Here's what Mario should be doing at all times." The hat never falls off his head. Type of stuff, you know, like I bet Nintendo is so controlling. And the fact that obviously this was shown in a Nintendo Direct, which again, it was also at Comic-Con.
And at New York Comic-Con, yep.
But the Nintendo Direct was shown at Comic-Con, so it's still wrapped up in Nintendo's packaging, so to speak. They, like, what movie company does this? Where, like, we're revealing our cast listing in a montage of video game trailers and announcements, and then a year later, we essentially do the same thing, but it's wrapped up in this, like, hey, we're going to talk about this movie. Here's the trailer. Have fun. Bye. You know, it's very, very Nintendo. They want people to know for a fact that this is them, whether it's good or bad, I guess, because, you know,
they're saying for better or for worse, this is what they do. You know,
because at least with the old one, they have an excuse of why it's bad. Like, hey, we barely did anything with this. We don't like it either. You know, here they're, you know. Though. It is not bad, but like
it got
it's not
Sonic
great.
Movie show seal of approval though.
We watch a lot of bad video game movies to make that one good by default. It's good by default. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, it being, I think Nintendo is very, very, very hands-on with this. I like Chris Mario. I don't know what his last name is. Chris Mario did say that him and Miyamoto were talking about this potentially 7 years ago. So it was 2015. And thinking around that time, that was definitely in the age of Nintendo going, "Oh shit, no one wants a Wii U," and it's been 3 years. Like, this system is dying. And I think it was around that time Nintendo announced, like, hey, we're doing a lot more merchandising stuff. And all of a sudden, hey, now we're getting into the theme park ideas and the movie ideas, you know. This movie would not have happened, I guarantee it, if the Wii U was a smash hit. Because they would not have thought of, like, hey, how can we make more money? Like, maybe video games aren't our only thing anymore, you know.
They're franchising.
That's my thought.
They're franchising. Yeah. They're doing a Universal Studios where it's like, we don't have to rely on the movie's, you know, box office every time. We can be like, hey, there's a theme park ride of it now too. Yeah, you can get this merchandise. I feel like a lot of companies are doing that with, especially like old. I don't want to call Mario old, but I guess in video game speak old. Just old properties being like, hey, let's bring this back. Or, hey, let's do, even like ones that aren't necessarily popular, but just like to get that nostalgia. Hey, we're not going to make a remake of this movie or anything. We're not making a game, but here's a t-shirt with this logo on it or whatever. So
yeah, a lot more Lego sets and stuff of Mario stuff came out of that, which is great for kids, but I'm an adult that I can't afford to buy toys. I buy also, $60 video games instead.
I mean, Sonic movie probably helped too. Seeing the success of that probably was like, and Detective Pikachu. That probably I could see that also.
Yeah.
It might have been more of like, hey, yeah, we have a script floating around or something, but maybe they saw the success of those two. Because I remember
Detective Pikachu like 2019. That lines up,
but it's been long enough where I could see it being like around 2019, being like, hey, Illumination, we need someone to make a Mario movie.
Yeah, I know we were kind of talking about it, but Detective Pikachu made $300 million.
I saved your number after we met, at the coffee shop there, and I don't know, like, I don't know if this is too forward. It's been a long time, but would you want to make this movie with us?
And Chris Mario says, yes, please.
Yes. Oh.
Nintendo says, here's $3 billion if you just do whatever the fuck we tell you to do. Yeah. And also, you make no money off of this movie. That's another thing I bet, too. I bet the split is like 90-10 between the two. I bet it is obscene between the two of them. But hey, you know what? You got your exposure, kid. Maybe we'll shout you out in the next Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's a Minions 3. Go give it a watch. Our friend Chris Mario directed this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the little stinger at the end there with Luigi running. I know people are saying, "Oh, it's Luigi's Mansion vibes." I think it's very clearly like a Bowser Castle setting.
Even if it
like
is, I feel like it's gonna be super short. Like it's just gonna be like a big Easter egg, but not too big where it's gonna be a whole subplot or something. I think it's gonna be like he runs into this, and then he runs into Mario, and then they get out. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like it's gonna happen. He finds a flashlight in there, and he gets out of the thing, and then
I would not be surprised if the majority of this movie has the brothers separated, and we spend more time with Mario, but Luigi is the one that talks to Donkey Kong. Luigi is the one that talks to fucking Cranky Kong is in this movie. Why?
Why not?
There's probably because he's in one scene, and then Donkey Kong follows Luigi and helps him out for another scene, and then Luigi says goodbye,
Donkey,
and then that's it. Yeah.
So
who did we say Michael Myers was in the Sonic universe? Mighty the Armadillo.
Yeah.
Just because him saying his own name kind of sounds like when he said donkey in our heads. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited. April 7th.
I was going to ask, how are you feeling about this movie just after this trailer? Like, give me like a kind of like a scale, I guess, or like it's in April what, 17th or whatever, something like that.
7th itself. Yeah.
So still got like a good like 6 months.
Yeah. I remember this movie was supposed to come out this holiday.
Yeah.
And then Miyamoto tweeted through the Nintendo Twitter account, "Hello, this is Shigeru Miyamoto with discussions with my friend Chris San," which everyone assumed he meant Chris Pratt, which would be hilarious if that was the case. With discussion with my friend Chris San, we decided to move the release date of the Mario
Chris Pratt's
movie.
Like, yo, I have too much movies going. Can we just push this one back?
Yeah.
The Christmas.
Listen, Jurassic World Fallen Dominion. Oh Jesus, Fallen Dominion is still going to be in theaters, man. You can't ruin my other movie chance. But here's the thing,
on
because
this show called I Am Groot that's coming up, and it's the summer of Groot. It's the summer of Groot, and I just I'm not.
They're making me do a tour for this stupid like reunion of Parks and Recreation. I don't understand. Now Chris from Illumination, I'm not going to say Chris Mario, Chris from Illumination there, did say that, like, in one more week they'll be done, like, animating. Everything will be done.
Imagine if there's, like, a good 20 minutes left, and the animators are, like, they watch it, like, what?
Wait.
You said
it becomes the
April,
cyberpunk
right?
thing,
yeah.
Where they're like, hey, we're not done. Stop saying that we're done.
It's coming out in April. Yep. We only did.
I just realized you can see this in 3D. Was Sonic in 3D?
No,
I don't think so.
No. Wow, they're trying to do the Avatar.
Ooh, we're gonna get this in 48 frames a second. I'd watch it in 48. God. I don't know. I'll watch this in 3D. Maybe it might be fun. I haven't seen a 3D movie in like.
It's always hit or miss with me. It's either
5 years,
pointless, or I get super sick.
It depends on if it was in their mind at the time or if it was just a complete post-production thing. But here's the thing. Again, he said they have 1 week left in animation. And obviously, you know, they still have to... Just because it's done animating doesn't mean it's done making the movie entirely. But if this was supposed to be out this holiday, it was going to be a tight squeeze. And I wonder if by delaying it, being Nintendo's decision of like, hey, yes, let's delay the movie till April. Although it would have, I think, probably done better in the holidays. That would have been every kid, you know, was going to the theater for Christmas type of thing.
Mario movie.
Exactly. And it's April 7th. When's Easter? Isn't that today? I don't know.
Yeah, I go to church first, son.
I wonder how much the movie benefits from the delay. Or was it just simply that, hey, we're not actually going to be ready?
Well, I mean, Avatar's come. They know that Avatar 2 gonna be rolling in the dough.
Rolling in the deep.
Rolling in the deep.
Well, I'm excited. Do you have any predictions, any final predictions about this movie?
I have a feeling that Peach is gonna have I don't want to say a major part of the plot, but I feel like she's going to be like running the kingdom, and she's going to be like powerful in some like I think they're going to like kind of not make her just, you know, be captured like you mentioned, or just be kind of the damsel in distress. I think they're going to be like, she's the one that's like orchestrating why Mario goes on a quest or works with Toad in some way. I think she's gonna be involved in that kind of capacity to give her some, I don't know, just not her, like
something,
I said, not just
besides
be a boring,
just being a milquetoast
yeah,
trophy to get at the end of the video game.
Yeah.
And I feel like the popularity of Peach as a personality has grown in the past, I would say, decade with the Wii U era stuff. I mean, she was playable, one of the 4 main playable characters in Mario 3D World, which had her playstyle from Mario 2 way back in the day. And like her personality as a character has grown a little bit, and her popularity because of that has grown a lot. And I feel like besides a port of an older Mario game in which she was captured, every Mario thing, the Switch generation and Wii U generation really, hasn't had her be the I'm captured by Bowser thing. You know, and no, she was in Mario Odyssey, and then like the last half of the game or something like that. No, it was all the post stuff. She was captured in Mario Odyssey. I guess that's fair. But there was all that stuff where she was doing stuff afterwards, you know, when you're trying to get all those extra moons, like she's just somewhere in each of those levels or whatever. I think Nintendo's smart enough to know not to just do that, unless they wanted to make a point by it for whatever reason. I do not think that this movie is going to be subversive at all. I think it's going to be very much a very basic Mario goes to stop Bowser type of thing.
We don't want any wokeness in this. So.
Oh my god! I saw on Twitter, number one, someone being very weird about that Peach render, saying, "Look at her lips." Please don't.
I seen more.
I almost
about
wanted
Bowser.
to reply.
I saw more about Bowser,
really?
Like a lot of thirsty Bowsers, like rated M for mature comments about Bowser and what they want Bowser to do to them.
Okay. So. Imagine a piranha plant. We haven't seen a piranha plant or a Goomba. Ugh, shudder to think. What was I going to say? I saw two things on Twitter. One, that stupid comment about her lips. And then also, I think you follow him on Twitter too, but Imran Khan had tweeted that he was basically given, Lisa Leaker gave him the script of this movie 4 months ago. And so he's read it. And it sounds to him, lines up with what the trailer is.
How do reporters have fun? They just have to read, like everything's always spoiled.
I feel like I would love it, because it's just like, I know stuff that's going to happen. Oh, did it happen? That's cool. I don't know.
I'd be bummed.
You don't know everything.
Got the whole script.
I don't know.
He could leak the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be very bad for him. And, you know, I feel like, because I have seen some people with the philosophy of, there is nothing newsworthy and no reason to just essentially spoil announcement of an Assassin's Creed game that you're going to find out in 3 weeks that it exists. Unless it was, hey, the next Assassin's Creed game is, you know, they're trying to rush for this reveal and like people are spending 120-hour weeks, you know, then that's a story to be had. When it's just, they've been making a Mario movie, you know, like, okay, sure, it exists is one thing. The script, what's the newsworthy thing there besides just the fact that you have it? I don't know. So a lot of people don't do that. In any case, that was the Mario movie. I'm excited.
One last thing.
Sorry.
I did, because we have our feelings, right? But I did ask from the official SMS.
I want that on a mug.
SMS
we have our
polling,
feelings, all right?
The SMS polling reports are in that 38.5% say they feel about after the trailer, they feel that they can't wait and they need it now, which leads the way, 38.5%. And then tied both at 23.1% is I'll see it at the movies and not watching it. And then we'll wait to rent / stream it is 15.4%. That's according to our polling numbers. All right. We just use Twitter, our ways of doing things. And so that's interesting to see what the audience thinks about it. Because I would say I feel like I generally saw a lot of positive stuff. there was just more critiques about Chris Pratt, but like, I'm like, after going through the Sonic movie thing, I'm like, let's just wait and see.
Yeah. Also, it looks like Toad has a giant green chamois instead of like rolled up on his thing. It looks like such a felt like microfiber cloth. Okay, well, that's the Mario movie. We have one more piece of news that is Sonic Frontiers related. I did this when I saw it on Twitter. I think you did as well.
I did it. Well, I literally did it like 5 minutes before we started recording.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Just because I was like, you know what? While I have it here.
Sonic Frontiers releases on November 8th. And hey, they want to promote it as much as possible, drum up some excitement. The deluxe edition, personally, doesn't look like it provides like anything of interest to me.
Just skins, yeah.
But you know what other kind of extra thing does interest me? That they honestly should have put in there, and I might have purchased the deluxe edition instead, is Sonic Adventure 2 shoes for Sonic and Sonic Frontiers. So I don't know if these are actually soaps or just inspired
Is soaps
by.
around anymore?
If they're dead, then they can probably get away with just saying the name, because what are you going to do? But they look very much like the Sonic Adventure 2 shoes. There is a render of Sonic in it and a render of the shoes. Essentially, as we can see here, you had to sign up for a newsletter, which, I mean, I guess I'll get an email about Sonic Frontiers a bunch now. And then essentially you tell them what platform you're going to play Sonic Frontiers on. And sometime after launch, you'll get a download code for that platform for the shoes.
What if it's like a year later?
Then we'll make a whole episode about it.
They didn't say when.
Yeah.
They didn't say when.
Some companies or some games do that. Not a year, but like way later where it's like, all right, I'm done with the game now. I don't need this costume that you gave me because
So I looked up soap shoes just to see if like they're still around, and they were bought twice, but eventually they landed at Healing Sports Limited, and it seems that they don't have a website, so I don't think, at least not soap shoes, but I haven't looked up Healing Sports Limited yet. But on the Wikipedia page, there's history, then there's a subsection that says soap shoes in Sonic the Hedgehog, and then that's it. That's the Wikipedia page.
Wow.
So,
because soaps were literally just shoes for grinding rails.
It was actually, so In Stride bought them, which was a wrestling gear company, and then they went bankrupt in 2002.
Wait.
And then Healy, the people who made Healy's, Healing Sports Limited, bought them.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they didn't produce any soap shoes. So they just bought the rights to them, but then didn't.
So wait, if soaps was bought by another company that then went out of business in 2002... Sonic Adventure 2 came out in 2001.
Yeah.
This was right at the end of...
Yeah.
Man, if they waited just a little bit longer, they could have gotten it for no deal. Like, it would have been free.
And then Healy's lost half of their stock value in a single day, falling from $21 to $11 back in 2007. And then, stock kept plummeting. But it's now... 2.2. I don't even think it's around it. Yeah, I think it's just. If you have a Wikipedia page like this,
kids do get Heelys.
Yeah, but like on Etsy and shit.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they're around anymore. So,
well,
I guess
I should get some soaps and try to grind some rails and then get a hernia. This does actually kind of make me. I guess I'm unimaginative. For whatever reason, I did not have any assumptions about Sonic getting costumes. The fact that they were able to put these shoes in the game at all means that they have the functionality to replace his shoes with other shoes.
Like Jordans,
therefore,
yeah.
That would be kind of neat if you could get Sonic at some Reeboks.
Some Tims. I would get the Tims, because I think that'd look the most ugly on Sonic, and I just would love to see him grinding on rails with just...
Have you ever seen someone try to really sprint in Tims?
Exactly.
It doesn't work.
I think that's if they put that. You said you would have bought the deluxe edition if these shoes were in it. I would have bought the deluxe edition if they had Tims, official Tims in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I have a I have a Tim's hoodie somewhere. No lie. Just a basic ass brown one.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, these soaps are Velcro. Just looking at this render, they're Velcro shoes. They have to be. Well, I guess Sonic never had laces, so maybe he doesn't know how to tie his shoes. They're going to change his gloves with some tennis company's gloves, Wilson gloves,
some Puma or something,
some Brandon, branded gloves. Replace his ears with cat ear headphones. You know,
wish I could give him like an earring, just like one, just like a little
big ass loop.
Yeah,
that flails around as he runs.
You can use one of the rings that he has. Just leave it on there.
Fair. Well,
there's also been we didn't add this to the episode, but there's been some reviews out. There's also been some leaks, but I've been avoiding that. I know we're gonna do an episode when we get a lot closer to the game coming out. We'll kind of just do an episode, I think, on just what the review's saying. Does it seem to be overwhelmingly positives, negative, in between? We'll see. So, but we're just gonna wait. But there is some reviews out there if you want to find them. And we're trying to avoid the leaks because I don't know, we ain't a leak show unless we have like Kotaku reported or something. But
yeah, I'd like to avoid some leaks if possible, just because like if we're right around the corner, I'd like to experience the game fresh.
Like if Sonic kills someone in the game, I don't want that spoiled.
Fair. You know? If they literally kill off like Tails and say Tails will never be in anything Sonic related ever again because he's dead.
Everything changes.
Everything changes. The power structure dynamics in the Sonic universe is about to shift.
I would love a Black Adam crossover into Sonic Frontiers for just no reason. Just be like, yes, that's right, Sonic fans. I'm coming to play Black Adam in Sonic
Am I
Frontiers.
a good guy or a bad guy? Or am I just me? Like, yes, we get it. You defined an anti-hero. Thank you. Yeah, I am excited for this game.
There's Super Sonic, so he could fight Super Sonic.
That's true. I think it would be neat if, like... So this is an open zone game, an open world game. You're running around, you're collecting things, essentially, right?
Not a Strand game.
Well, it might be a Strand game. Having played a Strand game a decent amount, it might be a Strand game. I think a neat reward after you know, it's because it's different islands, right? You get all the collectibles on one island. You get a classic Sonic thing, a pair of like his classic shoes or his soap shoes. I don't know. Like, I highly doubt that these soap shoes are only ever if you sign up for the newsletter. They'll sell these shoes for $3 in January.
Probably.
That's how this stuff generally tends to work. They made the asset. The newsletter went out once.
Different variation of them or something.
I don't even think it's going to be that. I think they will just sell them later. As a guy that remembers when the Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and they had some sort of ad thing with Butterfinger candy bars. And if you bought some Butterfingers and you sent them pictures of your receipts and stuff, they'd give you special like accessories in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I couldn't find Butterfingers anywhere. Like I couldn't find them, and I wasn't gonna like start hunting for them. And then like months later, they just popped up on the PSN store to buy those accessories for like $3-4. No, $2-3.
What like 2 Butterfingers would cost, anyways.
Yeah, you know, no carbs or sugar. So
yeah.
So that's my prediction. These soap shoes will be in the game to purchase for $3 by February 1st.
February 1st. You're
February 1st. Yep.
Is that your
if
final
February
answer?
1st rolls around and these shoes aren't available on the Xbox store, the Nintendo store, the Steam store, the Epic store, maybe not Epic because it's not coming to Epic right away for whatever reason.
It's weird, yeah.
And the PlayStation store.
Well, it's because they're going to put it through Unreal for the Epic version.
God. Unreal Engine. Woof. You know what? They should put it into the Decima engine. If it's going to be a Strand game, it has to actually run on Death Stranding's engine, the Decima engine. I just find it crazy hilarious that Hideo Kojima he toured PlayStation studios in the world with Sony's Mark Cerny to find new technologies. It's literally the phrasing. Discover new technologies.
Discover.
And
like as if like they've already existed, but you have to like it's like discovering fire, right? Like
discovering for him in search of new technologies, and they went to Guerrilla. And they saw Horizon Zero Dawn, and the game had been out at that point. And they're like, "Oh, this engine's very versatile and cool. We should use it. What's it called? We don't have a name. I'm going to name your engine for you." And he named their engine the Decima engine.
He can get away with it though.
The logo for it is such a Kojima-ass logo.
Honestly, like if I knew him personally, I would consult him.
Let him name my child?
Yeah, like I'd consult him. I wouldn't let him name it. I would consult him though. Be like, "Yo, I got some options. What do you think? Like, here's the four I was thinking. Like, what do you think?"
I like Sam. Or
I didn't think about it that way. And then just like my mind changes.
He loves referencing older things. Solid Snake's first name, his real name is David. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, it's just David. At the end of Metal Gear Solid, there's 2 different endings, but if you get the one that I got, where he saves the scientist Hal, Emmerich Otacon, he says, "My name is Hal," his real name. He says, "Oh, my name is David," and they laugh, HAL, because that's a 2001 Space Odyssey reference. HAL 9000 and David. David, Solid Snake's twin brother, Liquid, is named Eli.
Okay.
In the Bible.
Yeah.
I think it was David killed Eli or Eli killed David, one of the two. Like, he loves that stuff. So he's going to name your twin brother and sister there, your baby boy and girl, like Ken and Barbie or something stupid.
Ken and Barbie. Oh, forget we're getting a freaking Barbie movie. I can't wait. Hell yeah. I'm more excited. Honestly, I'm more excited about the Barbie movie than the Mario movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan Gosling looking good.
Overrated is all I'm saying.
Mario's overrated.
Barbie sucks.
Yeah, checkmate, loser.
Barbie can't jump. Her knees don't bend.
Does Barbie have like hands? Like, I know they have like hands, but does she have fingers?
Having a sister 10 years younger than me, having a sister and having seen Barbies in the house, what I know of Barbies is their arms and legs are mostly straight. They can bend a little bit, but since there's no like, they're not like action figure jointed.
Just enough that you need.
So there's still rubber over it, and the hands are just like mittens. Like, it's just a flat like thing.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Hey, that's what you need though, right? You just need a grip and all that.
You can probably jam a gun into the hand, which I'm sure people did.
Yeah, what a Barbie gun look like.
Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's a good time to be alive. Do you have any closing thoughts for today's episode?
No, not really. I mean, April feels long enough away where I'm like, okay, when it gets closer, I'll get more excited. But
hey, in the meantime, you have November 8th.
When is Knuckles? Do we know yet? I don't think we do. I know it comes out next year.
We were just told 23.
I wonder if it's going to be around then.
My final thought, and I remembered this, Chris Pratt, the laziest Zoom call in for that segment. I feel busy, like ever. He should have written down what he was going to say. It looked like he had a gun pointed to him behind the camera. Start speaking.
No,
I don't know.
It's because you're not part of the Pratt Pack. You don't understand.
You're not either. Stop. You're a poser. Okay. You can yell at this poser on Twitter at CursonaFun. I'm on Twitter at Ethan Absolutely. Don't yell at me. The show is available on a multitude of podcast platforms and the YouTube. And we're also on Twitter at Sonic Movie Show. We're also on TikTok at Sonic Movie Show.
Pratt Pack. Go after Ethan.
We're also on Twitter at Pratt. Tell us how much you love the Pratt voice. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey.